What you see here is the Kia EV6. This specific one is the long range rear wheel drive, and you gotta agree with me, this is a very well designed car. I have even been stopped probably 2 or 3 times during those 4 days that I had it rented for by random people telling me how well this car looks. And there have been a couple of occasions where people just stop and look around the car. So yeah, that just goes to say that the people in the design department did a very good job, and I definitely agree with that. I like the front, the side profile of the car, and even the rear. So let's walk around. That is just incredible. And the best thing is that here in Netherlands we can use the Tesla superchargers to charge the car, and they're at a very reasonable price. Now let's get closer, have a look at those wheels, as the design of the wheels is also quite striking. We have those 255 by 45 20-inch tires on those nice looking wheels. The color is also something that I really like. So this is the side. Here we got the privacy glass and the back, and I drink a lot of water. That's one thing to be certain for all that time. We are going to return these bottles and get some money to help us contribute to the charge. What you've got in that specific car is a heated seats on the rear, and that is a plus. One thing that I also really liked is that I can regulate the seat, so the incline of the backrest, you can move it. In fact, let me show you. So now with that lever that helps you to pull the seat down, you can also regulate it. So now it's more upright, as you can see, and if we push it, we can get it to be more sloping. Now let's shut the door and open the boot, as that boot is a very good size. Did I say boot? I meant boot. So yeah, it can easily fit a bag and a lot more. When you put the seats down, it's even better. The gate is obviously electrically operated. Let's move away. Let's move here. So let's go to the passenger side. So also on the passenger side, the seats are electrically operated, and here you've got a rather large compartment where you can store random things that you may decide to put in there. You've got a nice large glove box. You can, come on, my arm goes so deep in. So yeah, that's a massive glove box. And there's a center console here, but we're gonna talk about it when we move to the other side. Over here we've got the mirror and the sun visor, and it pulls out back. Good. And that car comes with the sunroof, which you can operate from here. You can just tilt it back. I'm gonna show it to you from here. So tilt it back this way, or you can fully open it. So when you open the sunroof fully, it looks like that. To be fair, I really enjoy the look of the car when we have the sunroof open. That's it. And let's move around over on the driver's side and see how it is. Another thing that I like is the design of the headrests. They're quite cool. Now let's sit here, move the seat back, and pull out the camera a little bit so we can see it better. And let's begin from the left side. Over here you've got 2 memory settings for your seat. Down here you can lock the rear doors and windows. You obviously got 4 electrically operated windows. Unlock and lock your doors. You can control your mirrors from here, fold them from that button like this, nice and quick. Over here you can dip your headlights. You have the opening for your charger. You've got the boot button here, and with this one you can turn on or off the handbrake, which is a little bit useless, as when you press park, I think that gets automatically activated. Anyway, over here on the left side of your steering wheel, you can do from this button, you can control the distance between you and the car in front of you. That is your lane departure and your auto steer button. With these two buttons, you can control the menus over here on the driver's display. And with this one, you can select your cruise control and the cruising speed with that toggle here. This is the generative braking, and with that cool button you can select different driving modes. So for example, now we're in normal, sport and eco. Let's move to the right. Over here, this is mainly for your infotainment system, so you can do the radio, you can increase the volume up and down, mute it, and also you can pre-select on that mode button to go through media, radio, and so on and so forth. Over here you've got your windshield wipers, and you can control the speed of those with that stroke as well. And this is the infotainment screen, which we're gonna get to later. Now, what I'm really excited and what I find cool is that little screen here, as you can move it from your climate control, so you can operate the climate control from here, which I quite enjoyed it. It's separated from the main screen. It's not on one screen to be doing everything. So now you can use it as a climate control screen. When you press this button, it goes over to your map, which it goes up there, nav, or you can have some favorites here. You can go to radio, media. It makes it so much easier when you need it for something. Now let's turn the climate control off and move down here, which is also rather cool, but here is where my kind of problems begin, which I'm going to discuss later. Now, over here you've got your cooled, heated seats on both sides and your heated steering wheel. This is the start button of the car, and this is the button. Now it's all a bit smudgy, but hopefully you can see it. So with that selector you can choose your reverse, neutral, or drive gears. Here you've got the camera button, which you can see what's happening behind you, and auto hold. And now moving down here is USB-A, you've got another USB-C and two 12-volt sockets. So yeah, that's rather cool. And now there are a few things that I don't really like about this car. To begin with, sometimes that gear selector tends to be quite temperamental. I don't know if it was my problem, so those ones that have owned Kia EV6 for longer, please do let me know. And another thing that I don't like, it's again down here, and this is the piano black trim. It gets really fingerprinty, so every time you touch it, it just goes onto that piano black trim. I think they could have done better with the start button of the car when you press the brake. I don't know, I don't find it necessary. I think when you have that gear selector, or I don't think really that that button is needed. As soon as you open the door, you should just be able to get the screens to turn on and drive away or do something on the screens. I don't think that is necessary. Now, another thing that I don't like is the seats. They don't seem to be very supportive. That car has quite good performance, and I would have found it better if they had a little bit more lumbar support and a little bit more side bolstering. So these are, I believe, my complaints on the Kia EV6. Apart from that, I think this car is even more comfortable than the Tesla Model Y. It has decent performance, even just for the rear-wheel drive. It is rather quick. Now what we're gonna do is go and drive it. So we're gonna see how quickly it can accelerate from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. We're gonna see the dynamics of the car, and also we are going to see what is the efficiency. Now let me give you a fresh example of what is happening that annoys me with the gear selector. So now we're in neutral. Everything is working, car is working. I select parking, okay, and now I want to move to drive, so it just goes to neutral. I'm trying to move it left to right, nothing happens, and the display is on. Trying to disengage the parking brake if that is the problem, so the little exclamation mark disappeared. Trying to go to drive or reverse and nothing works. And yeah, go to parking again, parking brake automatically applied, and trying to go no, the neutral, it goes to stand, nothing happens. Okay, let's try to reset the vehicle. So we turn the off button, no, shift to P to start vehicle, that's what it says here. We shift to P and nothing happens, just neutral, unless we gotta shift to P and then press that. Okay, now it made sense. So the sequence is a little bit weird, so you need to shift to P to be able to start the vehicle, and then you can select drive, and that's how you start a Kia EV6, if you ever wondered. And now another thing that I would have loved if it had is, for example, now we're using the sat nav, so the car knows where we're going, and if it was able to give me an estimate of what is going to be the battery percentage left when we reach our destination, that would have been quite nice. Even if it's not super accurate, I would have loved to see that, and what is the efficiency at which I'm driving. But now we don't have that. And here we are, that's what we look like from the side. We're only green, but it's the same trim level. I guess it's the long range rear wheel drive, and I believe this one they're brave enough to tow something, so yeah, that's cool. Autosteer works well, it's quite accurate. The only thing is every 10 seconds probably I need to tap on the steering wheel, just as you can see there. With a Tesla you really need to show it that you're in control, where here you just tap it just for a second and then you got it. Now let's merge to the right as we are going towards the airport. And even taking sharper turns, the car feels well planted on the road. You just tend to slide a lot in the seat, so it would have been nicer with a bit more support. It's definitely not as firm as a Tesla. I think with a Tesla I can approach the turns a little bit faster, but hey, it's still good. It's still rapid. It's nowhere near, I think that's half of the horsepower of the Tesla, so for half of that power it still offers very decent performance, considering that is mainly a family car. Let me just give you an idea. The acceleration from about 80 kilometers to 100 kilometers. Let's actually drop down to, I would say 70. Now, driving the EV6, as it comes to driving dynamics, I think definitely the Tesla has the edge. It is a little bit better planted on the road. I can definitely approach some more sharp turns a little bit faster. But still, considering this is a family car, I think it offers very good dynamics. 0 to 60 is around 7 seconds, which is very acceptable. And we're gonna actually measure that. Let's see what time we're gonna get. But yeah, I think driving dynamics is as good as anyone may need, especially those ones carrying their family in the car. Okay, let's do the 0 to 60 test now. And now, whilst I sat over here and waiting for the car to charge, the Tesla superchargers, as here in Netherlands, it seems like they offer the best charging speed and price, at least what I've managed to discover. Let's touch upon one more thing that I really like in the car and I didn't mention earlier, and that is the sound system. That sound system, it says Meridian. It is actually rather decent. It has enough bass, you've got good highs and mids, and I do enjoy blasting it up once in a while. And summarizing my trip, I think the overall experience driving that car for, let's turn it on and see how long we drove it for almost 1,000 kilometers. It had been very pleasant. I definitely enjoyed it, and I would say that in some aspects is better than the Tesla, and in others the Tesla was far superior, especially with the infotainment system and overall the system of the car. I think the Tesla is definitely superior. As a driving experience, yes, the Tesla is more dynamic, it is faster, it handles better in corners, but that is not something that is gonna deter me. For if I had to choose a cheaper EV6 or a Model Y, I would have probably picked up the EV6. Now, as you can see, we've managed to average here 17.3 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers for the last almost 900 kilometers, and that is good. 17.3 kilowatt hours is good. That converted in cost, it would be around 17. Each kilowatt here is around 39, let's say 40 cents, so that is around €7, which is very good. €7 for 100 kilometers. And the price of the petrol here over here at the moment is around €2 per liter. So you need to be 3.5 liters. I don't think there is such an economical car that can do 3.5 liters per 100 kilometers, especially at this size. If it's like super mini car, maybe it is achievable, but at this size, there is no way you can find something with that fuel efficiency. So yeah, that car was definitely well worth it driving, and it was very comfortable, easy to live with, and it was able to carry a lot of luggage. Actually, I had to help out carrying some luggage around, and we've put the seats down and we managed to fill it up quite a bit. So yeah, fantastic car, great experience. I would definitely give you a thumbs up if you're planning on buying one. And with Kia, I guess you get the usual perks with the long warranty. Okay, that was from me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.